Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Cricket Corner. This is episode number 10. We've reached a milestone, Aaron. We've done 10. This is going to be the 10th one that we're recording, which is, more than what I was expecting after doing the first one. So yes, welcome back. The World Cup is back with a bang. Every team has played 2 games. So in this particular podcast, we're just going to focus on how everyone's doing. Maybe talk about some of the predictions where I was right.
You're always right.
Always right. Maybe I should start putting money on this. And we'll then focus the last part of the episode on India-Pakistan, which is happening on Saturday. So, without further ado, World Cup. Aaron, what are your first thoughts? Everyone's played 2 games.
Yeah, really excited to see the World Cup is on. All the big teams are doing well. It looks like the 50 overs should be only played in a World Cup. Like, I can't bother watching like bilateral series anymore,
No.
So
It's too long, isn't it?
Yeah, it's too long. And when it's like ICC Champions Trophy or World Cup, it's fine because, the best teams are playing against each other for something.
Yeah.
But I think, bilateral, no more. But yeah, the World Cup, we said last time, right? It's going to be a tight one. All the big teams are looking good.
Except Australia. They're not looking good, are they?
Yeah, so...
2 matches, 2 losses for Australia. The only way they can go is up. Unfortunately for them, they've had 2 really tough games at the beginning. And I told you, they're not going to make the top 4. They're just not good enough.
Yeah, you were right. But the thing about Australia, why I always backed Australia, because they always did well in World Cup. But I was really surprised with the way they played against India and today against South Africa. It was very un-Australian, very defensive mindset. Against India, the wicket was not like unplayable. It was spinning.
It got better towards the end though. But
still,
they were agreed.
When they were batting, David Warner and Smith, they didn't go for it.
No.
At some point, I think there was a period of 10 or 12 overs without a boundary. You can't play like this in a 50 overs nowadays.
Old school 50 over cricket, right? And 200 runs back then. Oh my God, so many runs.
Yeah, and even with the ball, they started really well with their fast bowlers, and I don't know why Cummins just stopped Hazelwood and Mitchell Starc, and then gave the ball to Maxwell.
Yeah.
And Green. It was very un-Australian. And today as well, they win the toss and field first. I thought that was a defensive move as well. Even though in India it's better chasing. Yeah. You don't want to put a team who just scored 430 or something. Again.
And they scored 311. Yeah. Right? Something I want to talk about is that the crowds haven't been as big as I thought they would be, with the exception of the India games. Every India game is packed by the end of the game, right? But a lot of the other games, I'm seeing lots of empty stands. People just not interested.
It's a good question, and I think it's a bit of both. Like, people are working, and also maybe the ticket prices,
ticket availability.
Yeah. So, and also nowadays, right? Everyone has a good setup at home. Like, everyone have their
big
TVs and
surround sound, popcorn.
Yeah, so
better view than back.
That plays a part as well. So I think it's a combination. Even India the match against Australia, I think it was 85% full. So yeah, it's surprising, but you can understand. It's people don't have time now.
50 over time, right? They have time for 2020. Everyone hasn't time.
Even Test cricket is only England, Australia, and South Africa, where it's house full. I think it's just the new trend.
Yeah, which is a shame to see because there's some fantastic cricket being played. I want to cover South Africa, who you said might make the top 4, and after the first 2 games, they look very strong. You know, they're scoring a lot of runs, fastest 100 in a World Cup by Markham. ton after ton after ton. They're doing pretty well.
Yeah, they look very good. What I like about this about this South African side, they look a very settled side.
Yeah.
You know, they know their role. You have Deacock, Bavuma
Yeah.
opening the innings, and then you have this, packed middle order with Makram, Rassi, Miller, and Clausen.
It's pretty strong, isn't it?
Yeah, and then they got good bowlers. They got good fast bowlers, good spinners. So yeah, they look a very settled unit.
Yeah.
But one thing about South Africa, they always did well in the group stage,
Yeah.
a bit like India. So it will be interesting to see, how they do when it comes to like
Yeah.
these semi-finals. and
Exactly.
so on.
Exactly. I agree with you. I think they look very strong and they've made a fantastic start. So have New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand, we said, right? When it comes to World Cup, they're always
The
there.
switch turns on and they're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's just get to it.
I don't know, somehow they always kind of discover some new players. They come on the big platform and perform. It's
We should clarify, Aaron, you called Rachin Ravindra.
I gave him a new name, Rachindra. Sorry about that. Yeah, we'll call him Ravindra. It's easy.
But, out of all the teams, obviously South Africa, very impressive, and Australia on the complete opposite end. Anyone else that's kind of impressed you or something that you think they weren't not in your surprise list,
India look good. We know that they're a good team. One team which looks a bit stronger now is Pakistan. I was not very convinced when they played their first match, but now with Abdullah, who's a very good batsman at the top, and Saud Shakil in the middle, and Hassan Ali, they look a bit more all-round side now.
Wow, should we talk about their run chase?
Yeah.
Highest run chase in a World Cup. I thought after Sri Lanka scored those many runs, I was like, forget about it. Not only that, after the first 2 wickets fell down, I was like, forget about it. No chance.
Especially Pakistan, right? They're not known for like chasing runs.
No, it's very
Yeah.
much like what happened with Australia, South Africa today. I was like, South Africa scored 300 plus runs, and as soon as you have instant first few wickets gone, you just lose the confidence. But they somehow managed to hold it together and pull off a fantastic victory in Hyderabad.
Yeah, I was very impressed with Abdullah because he was just taking his time. Even though the run rate was just going up like 7, 8, him and Rizwan, they just, waited and waited and waited. And then, when they were settled, they just started hitting the boundaries very easily.
Yeah.
But yes, they did really well to chase that. But Sri Lanka was very sloppy. With the bat, they should have scored at least 370, 380 with the start they had.
Yeah.
And then with the ball as well, there were a lot of wides, some few
I think
drop
you're
catches.
being unfair on the run scored. I think
No.
probably the bowling is where they came short. Then scoring another 30 runs probably would not have made a difference to Pakistan. I don't know.
Yeah, but overall, it was like a fantastic chase from Pakistan.
Probably the best game of the World Cup so far.
Yeah, we can say that. Yeah. Best
The
game.
most exciting game of the World Cup so far between Pakistan and Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka, on and off. But this World Cup, we're not expecting anything special from them, and they gave a great fight to Pakistan.
Yeah, I thought they should have won that match, Sri Lanka. But hats off to Pakistan. They, especially to chase 345 in 48 overs. And especially, I just said, right, like Pakistan is not known to chase runs.
No,
they're very good in
defending.
defending.
Yeah.
They look, and that will be, a good sign for them. They'll be in a good shape of mind to play against India, because if they lost against Sri Lanka, then they would have been in more pressure against India.
That's true. Who's been the standout player for you after the 2 rounds?
One player, it's very, very underrated. No one talks about him, but I really like this guy. He's the guy from New Zealand. He's called Mitch Santner. He's one of my favorite players. Always, under the radar.
Yeah.
Bowl some left arm spin, He can bowl in the power play,
Yeah.
at the death, in the middle, and really good fielder. He gives some useful runs always. I'm always impressed with this guy, and he just performs day in, day out. He's one guy I can think of. In the new players, Abdullah Shafiq, to come in on your first match of the World Cup, replacing Fakar, chasing 345.
a lot of runs.
He looked really good. So I think he's going to be a good player for Pakistan. So I'll say both of them.
Yeah, Santner, there was a very interesting stat about the first match where he did not concede a boundary in his spell or of 10 overs, which is in a one-day game is unheard of. And
against England.
Against England, yeah. I think it was against England. So it was one of either England or the second match, but I think it might have been England. So, yeah, I totally agree. Very underrated, under the radar, and he's very obviously is a very Dan Vittori-esque bowler.
Yeah,
very conniving. Doesn't get a lot of spin like Ravindra Jadeja. With his left arm, where he can, generate a lot more spin. He doesn't have that, but he's just the guile of placing it in the right place, changing the pace, but putting it on a dime every single time. Fantastic.
Yeah, very, very good bowler. And England, what do you think?
My God. Yeah. One win, one loss.
They came back really strong.
They came, against Bangladesh, where...
But still.
I agree. I think they did they had a great second match. They needed to have a great second match. Now they're moving on to Delhi, where they play, I don't know.
They play Afghanistan.
So they've got a couple of good, easy matches before going to Ahmedabad and playing Australia. So having 4 points in their back, I'm sure they'll beat Afghanistan quite comfortably. But it was good to have that strong, start or restart after losing to New Zealand. But has there been a surprise of the first two rounds for you in terms of a cricketing result?
In terms of cricketing result, no, but just, I'm a bit disappointed with Afghanistan and Bangladesh, especially Bangladesh. They've been playing like ODI cricket for a long time now. And every time we think this time they will do well, better and better, but looks like, they don't improve. They just stay at the same stage. Yeah.
The problem is that you are expecting some of these teams to do just as well in 50 overs as they do in 20 overs. And there is a big difference between a T20 and a 50 over. 50 over is closer to a 5-day game than it is to a 2020. Even though the direction the 50 over game is heading in is 2020, you still need to have the caliber of players to last you 50 overs. And Afghanistan don't have that. They have the bowling lineup to rip through people, but they don't have the batting lineup to stay there. And although they did fantastically well against India to score 280, but you could tell against India in the middle overs, they didn't have a clue. Which is surprising because it was two spinners bowling, and they, in my opinion, Afghanistan have some of the best spinners in the world, and they play them day in, day out.
Yeah, they should have just gone for it. Yeah.
They should have. They know where to score runs, and I think the biggest difference in India for the team that wins is they know how to rotate strike. There are some fantastic players in the world of cricket who know how to rotate strike. Virat Kohli, Joe Root, Williamson, these players are the greats of cricket right now, and they know when to take a single.
Like good balls. They rotate good balls.
Exactly. And you can put KL Rahul from India in that, and Rohit Sharma as well.
Even Babar is quite good as well.
Babar, like all of these players, they play well is because they know when to get off strike. Let's get off strike.
Yeah.
Let's call the singles. So, and they were just hitting it to the fielders.
Yeah.
Like they weren't placing it in the right place. So, yeah, it's unfortunate that Bangladesh and Afghanistan aren't, performing. I don't think they will. Shall we move on to the thing that's happening on Saturday?
The big game on Saturday, yeah.
The big game, India-Pakistan on Saturday. Blimey. Before we get into the details, who's going to win?
I think India's going to win.
Okay.
Just because the way they've been playing recently, and the overall team stability, the players they have, the form they're in. But with Pakistan, We never know which Pakistan is going to turn up on Saturday. That's the beauty of Pakistan.
The stadium will be full. I guarantee anyone watching the match, the stadium will be full.
I hope so. I hope it's a full house. Otherwise, it will be disappointing to watch India-Pakistan like empty.
Stadium. 100,000 people guaranteed in the stadium. It's going to be jam-packed. It's going to be a fantastic spectacle. People are complaining on the internet that the 2023 World Cup didn't have like a
opening ceremony,
but they are having a ceremony for the India-Pakistan game. You know, who's playing? There's an Indian singer, I've forgotten the name.
Arjit Singh.
Arjit Singh, there you go. He's opening he's going to sing, you know. So, well, Pakistan are getting special treatment, let me tell you. I think people are loving, I've seen the videos of Pakistan players in Hyderabad and with the ground staff and the airport, and people are loving.
People in India, you know, they like Pakistani cricket.
Cricket. I mean,
course.
you know, you grew up. We've spoken about it before. Like we've grown up watching some of the best players, bowlers, batsmen.
There's no doubt about that, right? Like maybe they look surprised, but I always knew that Pakistan cricket will get a lot of supporters.
I think it's because if you think about the last time Pakistan were in India, majority of this team,
I think none
have never experienced this.
Yeah, I think it's first time, right? So
they've never experienced this. No. So for them, it's massive, and I think they're loving it. They appreciate it, and you can see it in their posts and you know, so they're which is fantastic. So you think India are going to win this one?
Yeah, I think India's going to win this one.
Is it because of how they played in the first two matches?
No, since the Asia Cup, right? I like the vibe in the team. They look quite settled. They look quite chilled. Everyone looks very comfortable with the role. Bumrah, since he's back, has been like unplayable. Yeah. In any wicket, right? Like even against Afghanistan on the flat Delhi wicket.
He was the best bowler.
He was the best bowler. He's the best bowler in this World Cup.
Yes.
So far, you know, KL Rahul, he's been in a great form, and he brings that, you know, stability in the middle order. So we've seen against Australia, because one of the biggest worry for India before was when we lost 3-4 quick wickets, and then it's done.
Yeah, because then you had people like Sanju Samson, unfortunately not picked, and Surya Kumar Yadav, who is more a T20 impact player, and I guess the Indian coaching team doesn't feel like Surya Kumar Yadav can give the same kind of stability that KL Rahul can. He can't. Quite frankly, he just can't. Right? KL Rahul is a fantastic opener for India, and you know he's done fantastically across all three formats. And I agree with you. Like that is probably the best thing about the Indian team, having someone like him in the middle order, so that when things like what happened against Australia happened. Previously, like when I was watching that, I was like, shit, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
What, India's just going to be done? Like, because then after him, it's all-rounders.
Yeah.
Hardik Pandya.
Yeah, that was the last.
Done, right? That's done, right? So I think he's a fantastic addition. Fantastic addition at the right point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see that. What about Pakistan? Do you not think they can? Do you think they're going to give a good game, or is it going to be like a?
I think it's going to depend on the pitch, but I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. So, I feel it's going to be either a tight game or a one-sided one, like in Asia Cup. I feel it's going to be something like that. The toss is going to be important.
Yeah.
I feel if India win the toss, they should bat first.
Yeah. Agreed.
I think against Pakistan, you always bat first, even though they chase 345. I don't think
you can't chase 345 every week.
Yeah, that's one thing. And against India, it's not Sri Lanka. So, and the pressure as well, right? Like you play against India,
300 plus runs.
Yeah, and in a big stadium with like 100,000 people. So I think the toss is going to be a big factor. And Shubman Gill.
Yes, dengue fever. We should talk about dengue fever in India. I also found out Harsha Bhogle's had dengue fever, so he's not going to be attending the India-Pakistan match. He's very upset, the legendary commentator. So, yeah, it's going around in India. I hope none of the other players get it. If I was India team and coaching staff, I'd just say, no, just stay at home. You don't need to come back. What if he still has it? What if he gives it to Kohli?
I think you can't give it like this. I think it's just by mosquito bites or something. I think it's not like.
Sorry for being I have no idea how you catch dengue fever.
I think you can catch. You can't just. It's not.
It's not spread. You can't spread it.
Can't spread it.
Otherwise, everyone.
So he's back. That's a good news. Apparently, he had a net. I hope he plays because he makes a big difference. I hope he's fit.
Do you think he's going to play?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I hope he plays.
I don't think he's going to play.
Yeah.
I think it's too soon. He's practiced yesterday for an hour.
Yeah,
he's not going to match fitness-wise. You're not going to be there. He's going to be like, forget about it in the heat. And if you're fielding or batting first, forget about it, right? So I think you count him out. I have a worry for India.
Why is that?
I don't think that the bowling was as good as it could have been against Afghanistan. So what seam options did we go with? We had Bumrah,
Siraj and Pandya.
And
that's it.
No.
Oh, Thakur.
Thakur as well, right?
Yeah.
So I think Siraj bowled badly. I think he didn't score. He gave away 80 plus runs in his 10 over spell. That could be a problem. But you might say, hey, he took 6 wickets against Sri Lanka. Where do you think they're going to replace Siraj with Shami?
That's a good call. He didn't look in form against Afghanistan. He bowled okay against Australia, but it was not the Siraj we saw in Asia Cup.
No.
But it's India Pakistan, right? So they're going to be on their A game. So
you don't think he's going to be swapped out?
No, I don't think so. I think he will still play.
Yeah.
The interesting call will be depending on the pitch. Either they take Shardul again or Ashwin. So I will go for Ashwin.
Yeah.
Because even if he doesn't take wicket, he doesn't give too many runs.
No.
He can still
Shardul
block.
didn't give many runs either.
No. Yes.
And he took wicket as well.
He took a wicket. Yeah. So it's 50-50, but I feel I prefer Ashwin. So we have 3 fast bowlers and 3 spinners.
Just to clarify, whatever team India picked today is the one they'll pick in the final, because the final will be played in Ahmedabad as well.
It's a long time for the final, but I feel it will depend on the pitch. But Ahmedabad is always a good pitch.
It is a good pitch.
And for that, we have to qualify for the semi-final and
then the final. I'm thinking really ahead.
Yeah. No, but Pakistan, I told you, right? It will depend which Pakistan turn up on Saturday.
So Pakistan dropped a couple of players for the second match. Were you surprised?
No, I think Fakhar, they've been giving chances for him for the last, 20 games. And finally, they replaced him with Abdullah, who looks a really good player.
Yeah.
And also Saud Shakil, who's a good player.
In the test match, he scored a double century, right? We spoke about this earlier in the year.
He gives a bit of stability, a bit what KL Rahul does for India. So that's good. And Hassan Ali, he took some wickets, even though he was expensive. He's taking wickets. So yeah, I think they are. This looks like a better Pakistani side. So I hope it's a good match. I hope it's not a one-sided match.
I am yet to have experienced an India-Pakistan match which has been one-sided. Have you?
The Asia Cup one, right? It was like...
Well, that was like a test match. It took 3 days to complete. They were like, made calls to be like, hey, can we play tomorrow? Everyone else agreed to it. Yes, you're right. The Asia Cup was a bit one-sided. I don't know if it was totally one-sided, but it wasn't, because if you think about the start and the wickets that Shaheen Shah Afridi took as well.
Yeah, that was the first match. They scored like 260 or something, and then it rained off. But the second match, they scored like 360 or something. No, I feel it's 60-40 for India now.
After the first 2 matches.
Yeah, and another big factor is Babar didn't score so far. So, a player like him...
He's going to be scoring some runs. You heard it here first. If he scores a century and Pakistan win, then it's Aaron's fault.
So a player like him, you can't keep him calm for like 3 games. So yeah, I think he will score some runs. So yeah, it's going to be a good match. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think it's going to be a fantastic spectacle. It's been 2011, so what?
Yeah, that's what I think, right? They didn't play after that, right? That was the last game, the semi-final.
No, they played.
No, I mean in India.
In India,
Yeah.
in India. Yeah, that was the last game in India, where there is going to be a big home advantage, and Pakistan are always going to turn up because they're going to have the heat on them. So it's going to be a very, very fantastic spectacle. I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I agree with you. I think India are going to win, but if India want to win, they need to bat first.
Yeah.
I think as good as India are chasing, I think you have to know the team on the other side of the table, and you know that Pakistan are not gonna last for 350 runs. You have to also score 350 runs, which I think India are very capable of doing.
Yeah, I just hope. I know India likes to chase. I just hope they win the toss and they don't like field first. That would be.
In the heat, no, I hope not. Ishan Kishan,
Yeah, he's.
bad shot in the first match and then scored okay runs in the second match, but him or Surya Kumar Yadav?
It's going to be him because as an opener, it's going to be
Imagine
him.
opening with Surya
Surya
Kumar
Kumar
Yadav.
Yadav, that's a good call.
Wow.
Yeah, that would be like really good to watch.
Why doesn't
I think he can open, to be honest.
I think he can open.
Power play, like just go and but they never tried before, so.
Well, Rohit Sharma is like he scored 100 runs in like 20 balls in Afghanistan. So he was honestly 80 off like 40 balls or something crazy. But yeah, I think going with Surya Kumar Yadav opening. Oh my God. Why have they not thought about this?
I hope Rohit is watching this video and that gives him some idea.
Yeah, I mean, what time is it now? He doesn't have a lot of. It's nearly 11.
Tomorrow morning. You can watch tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning he can watch it, and then hopefully
decide,
he can make the call.
Yes, time.
Yeah, Friday night he can make a call on SKY Sky opening the batting for India against Pakistan, and scooping the first one.
For when we talk about Ishan, if he plays on Saturday, I just hope he does kind of a similar role he did on against Afghanistan. He just stay there and kind of give a start for India. Don't lose like early wickets or something.
Well, the bowling unit that they're going to be facing is going to be very different.
Yeah,
it's going to be world class versus average.
With Ishan, right? It's going to be either he's going to score some fast runs or he's going to get out. So it's easy. So
let's hope for the fast runs then.
So that's what we can expect from Ishan. So hopefully he can score.
Yeah, I think that's really it. I think looking forward to the India-Pakistan game. It's going to be fantastic. Are there any other matches in round 3 that you're looking forward to?
I'm waiting for Australia-England. But
yeah, that's the next round. I think that's round 4, right?
Yeah,
so
that's one of the game I was looking for. But looking at Australia's form now, I think England's going to win easily.
Yeah, so we've got Bangladesh, New Zealand, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, England, Australia, Sri Lanka, Netherlands, South Africa. So that's the next round of matches. The only game that looks mildly interesting
is India-Pakistan.
Pakistan. I can tell you where the other matches are going to go quite comfortably, except for maybe the Sri Lanka-Australia one.
2 teams in form.
2 informed teams. One can't score 200, the other one can score. I think that's it. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover with India and Pakistan?
Oh, I'm just looking forward for the match and
hope India win.
Hope India wins, and it's a good match.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. This was a quick coverage of the first 2 rounds of the Cricket World Cup. We hope you enjoyed the World Cup, and we hope you enjoyed our commentary on the first 2 rounds of the World Cup. We can't wait to talk to you again in less than a week's time, because we will be covering India-Pakistan fully somehow in the next podcast.
Especially if they win.
If they lose and you don't hear from us, we've shut shop. We're not doing podcasts again.
So they have to win, so we can do an episode.
We can do an episode, otherwise there's no more Cricket Corner. We'll have to change the name to
Chess Corner.
Well, thank you, everyone. That's been us, episode 10 of the Cricket Corner. I'm Sohail, and we've got Aaron with me. So we'll see you all in the next one.
Thanks, Sohail.
Thank you.